right, hi everyone. Welcome to our last study guide video. Okay, we're almost done with the study guide. We're so close, you guys. So let's just hang in there, okay? A few more minutes. All right, this first question is the difference between complete dominance, incomplete dominance, and codominance. And basically, it wants us to know, okay, this heterozygous phenotype, what would it be according to the rules of complete dominance, incomplete dominance, or codominance? Okay, so complete dominance. This is the one that we've been always talking about, complete dominance. Okay, this is when we have one dominant and one recessive allele. Okay, so if we're heterozygous, we're going to be the dominant allele. It's going to express the dominant allele. Okay, so if we're crossing red and white, we can see red is the dominant, so my heterozygous would be red. Now, incomplete dominance, codominance. Try and think which one is a blend and which one are both of them dominant. So both of them are dominant in codominance, co-parenting, cooperative. It's two working together, so they're both dominant, okay? Codominance. So let's go back here. Codominance, our heterozygous is going to express both phenotypes. They're both dominant. Incomplete. It wants to be dominant, but it's incomplete. It ends up as a blend, okay? So in my incomplete dominance, it's incomplete. It wants to be red, but it can't. My heterozygous individual would be pink. And in codominance, it gives you a little signifying thing that both the R and the W are capitalized, okay? This is telling us that they're both dominant. What would the phenotype of my heterozygous individual be? Red and white flowers. Okay. So let's try a couple questions. Snapdragons are incompletely dominant for color. They have red, pink, or white. The phenotypes red, pink, or white. The red flowers are homozygous. Okay, the white flowers are homozygous recessive and pink flowers are heterozygous. Even if I didn't give you all this information, you should be able to figure out that pink would be our heterozygous individual because it is incompletely dominant. So it's our heterozygous is going to be a mix between our recessive and dominant, right? Or between our two alleles, okay? All right, so what are the genotypes of each? Red would be capital R, white, lowercase r, and pink is our heterozygous. Okay, they told us that these are our alleles, so it's easy for us to do this. Okay, so now we want to do the genetic crosses between each of the following and record the genotype and phenotype percentages below. So, okay, if I'm crossing pink with pink, pink would be heterozygous, right? So it would be capital R, lowercase r, capital R, lowercase r, okay? And if I complete this Punnett square quickly, go quickly, okay? We can see that, what would the percentage of different genotypes be? 25% homozygous dominant, 50% heterozygous, and 25% homozygous recessive. This would be my genotypic ratio percentage. My phenotypic percentage is what trait is being displayed, right? So it'd be 25% red, 50% pink because it's incomplete dominance, and 25% white. Okay. So you would repeat the same thing. Our red individual, remember it's homozygous dominant, white would be homozygous recessive, and pink is heterozygous. Genotype is telling us, okay, what percentage are homozygous dominant, what percentage heterozygous, 1% homozygous recessive, and phenotypic is what percentage red, what percentage pink, 1% white. Okay, now let's talk about non-Mendelian genetics. Now let's do codominance. So actually blood type is a really interesting one because it's not only codominant, but it's also has a complete dominance component to it. So let's take a look at it. For blood type, the alleles A and B are codominant. So you can have A, you can have B, or if you're heterozygous AB, then you would have both A and B. But then we also have the allele O, which is recessive to both A and B. All right, so let's try to write the genotype for each person based on the description. If someone is homozygous for the B allele, first try and answer on your own and then compare it to my answer. So quickly pause the video and answer. Okay, now we'll answer together. Homozygous for the B allele, that means two B alleles. Remember, all of our genotypes are going to have two alleles because we're diploid, right? Okay, so it's not just B, it's BB. Homozygous for the A allele, that means we have two A alleles. Heterozygous with type A blood. Well, Miss Lisa, it can't be AB. Because if I was heterozygous with AB, then that means I would have the AB blood. I wouldn't have A blood. So it can't be AB. What can it be? O, because O is recessive to A. So I'm heterozygous. I have two different alleles, and I have type A blood. I have type A blood. Why? Because O is recessive. All right. Heterozygous with type B blood. Well, that would be the same thing. I'm heterozygous because I have two different alleles, but I have B blood because O is recessive to B. And then AB blood, I'm heterozygous. I'm expressing both alleles. So this is codominance for AB. In type O blood, in order for me to have the recessive phenotype, I must have two recessive alleles. Okay, so this would be my genotype. These are very important to know because I'm telling you, every genetics test you have from here on out, whether it's in my class, hint, hint, or AP, IB, college, if you're going to have a genetics test, they're going to put blood type. I don't know why they love blood type questions. So in order to be able to do a blood type question, you need to be able to figure out what the genotypes are based on the descriptions. So please make sure that you understand this section and you're able to do it and you understand it well before we even move on to the next section, before we even move on to question 11. Okay, it's very important. All right, here we go. A man is heterozygous for type A blood, marries a woman who is heterozygous for type B blood. Complete the Punnett square. Okay, what are their genotypes? Heterozygous for type A, well, that would be AO. Heterozygous for type B, BO, right? What are the chances of their offspring having type A blood? Go ahead, start that Punnett square. What are the chances of the offspring having type A blood? Is this type A blood? No, that's AB blood. Is this type A? No, it's B. This would be type A. This would be type O. So what is my chances of having type A blood? 25%. Okay, 25%. 25% AB blood, 25% B, and 25% O. Okay. Oh, look, there's the rest of the questions. There you go. All right. Now, complete the Punnett square showing all the possible blood types for the offspring produced by a type O mother and a father with type AB blood. Go ahead, you try. First, pause the video and you try. Try to make that Punnett square. Okay, what do I have here? I have 50% what? A blood, 50% B. Do I have any AB? No. 0% chance AB. What about O? 0% chance O. All right. Oh, yay, we're done with our study guide. Okay, awesome. So, awesome job sticking with it, you guys. This was honestly these are the hardest days, okay? What we're doing after our test on Thursday, we're just doing a couple more examples, but basically Monday's test is test 1 plus what we just did now That's just a few examples of a little more challenging questions. And then, you're all set. So awesome job. If you have mastered this study guide, give yourself a round of applause because you are on track to doing really well on this test on Thursday and on Monday's unit exam. Awesome job.